I love the fact that I'll have a voice that can carry a lot of credibility with what I say. And ultimately, for me, it's about getting really comfortable in a new role. But I also know that going into it, I'm not a finished product. And I've reached out to a lot of different people this football season and had a lot of phone conversations with people who have really helped me out. And I'm looking forward to continue to do that over the next 8 months. I don't have to go on air till September of next year, but I really want to be prepared for that first time out.
In another interview with ESPN's Pat McAfee, Brady was asked about the award-winning dynamic, or I should say it's more the awkward dynamic, with Olsen, and he kind of danced around the question.
Have you got a chance to chat with Greg? Has that become like a interesting situation for you at all?
Greg's done an incredible job. I have so much respect for him, how he approaches his job. He's super prepared in what he does. I think he does an incredible job every time he's on. I love listening to him. And I'm just going to go in there and do the best I can do with my own perspective.
Look, I don't know what the right answer to that question is, but that's the kind of sort of stock answer you can give as a player, right? When you're asked about a game, sort of cliched sports speak. Well, I'll take it one at a time, and I'm going to go out there and give it my best. That's not going to cut it in the broadcast booth. He's going to have to give viewers insight. Look, being on live television is not easy. There's a lot that goes into it, and some of it can't be taught. Tom Brady is famous for his meticulous preparation, but ultimately there is no way to know if he can succeed until the light goes on. Joining us now, Mike Golic, senior sports analyst for DraftKings, former NFL defensive lineman and former ESPN personality, most notably co-hosting ESPN Radio's Mike and Mike for nearly 2 decades. Mike, thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so how much of a risk do you think this is for Fox?
Dan, this is the norm, quite honestly. I know people are somewhat stunned, but it's just the latest in the long line of next time somebody gets big-footed. This is what happens. Whenever a top player retires, they get a top job, whether it's in the booth, whether it's in the studio. And then what happens is you give these players the top billing. And then in all honesty, if you're an exec, you cross your fingers and hope they can do a good job. That's kind of what happens. So now Greg Olsen had been doing this for about a year or so before Joe Buck and Troy Aikman left for ESPN. So he gets elevated to #1 slot. It's not like he had been doing it for 10 years, but he had been doing it to show that he had real potential and was really good. And he has proven that he is one of the best to do this. But this is, again, what happens. There was absolutely no doubt if Tom Brady wanted to get into the media, he was going to have his choice and somebody was going to get pushed aside. The money is greater than it's ever been. I mean, we've talked about the Romos and Aikmans of the world getting the 17, 18 mil. Tom's getting $37 million. It's obscene money, but this is the norm. And so you hope he can do it, right? He's a 6-rounder. He's had to work his butt off to get where he is, had to wait for an injury to finally get on the field, and then ended up being the GOAT. But we know his preparation. So we know we'll prepare, as he said in those interviews there. He said, I've been talking to people, and he sends people around to check out how everything works.
Mike, do you think there's a risk, though, of a kind of fan rebellion that even if he's, good, decent, whatever, that fans are going to, sort of fight back?
So here's the other thing, Dan, is the risk is him not being good at this. That's the risk. But one thing you don't do, as good as Greg Olsen has been, as much money as Tony Romo gets paid, as much money as Troy Aikman gets paid, you don't tune into the game for the announcer. It will not hurt ratings. People tune in to watch that game because normally those guys are doing the top game. They tune in to watch the game, and then you'll go on Twitter and see somebody not like the analyst or like the analyst. So it's not going to hurt ratings, but you're going to wonder if he's going to be good in the booth. You can prepare all you want, but then there's the cadence to learn. I think he's going to do a good job, but you said it. We don't know. We don't know. We have to wait, and there's a proven guy that will get pushed aside for it.
Speaking of that proven guy, this is Greg Olsen in an interview today with Dan Patrick. Let's listen.
I understand when Tom Brady's looming over your shoulder, it's the biggest news in sports. I get it. He's Tom Brady. He's someone I've respected for, 20 years. So I understand the uniqueness of what's going on. And I feel like we've handled it as well as we could for the last 2 years. And if I can get another opportunity to call top games at Fox or somewhere else, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Mike, Fox going to find a spot for him?
Oh, sure. I mean, the worst he'll go down to is number 2. But, you know, he feels he's a top analyst. But CBS has Romo, ABC has Aikman, NBC has Collinsworth. The streaming service, now Amazon doing Thursday games, has Kirk Herbstreit. So all those slots are filled. So unless somebody else jumps into the fray here, he's not going to get a number 1 job right now. But he's not going to go lower than number 2 at Fox for sure.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.